Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. You guys have seen this before. I use a protractor. I make two circles, one bigger than the other. I fill it in with black and then outline everything in gold afterwards. So this is the same thing. It just gives us a circular frame to work within. I'm a big fan of circles, so yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. If you don't like this, you don't have to. You can definitely just do the sparkling poppy on any stone, any shape, even not stones. You can do it on canvas, you can do it on wood, you can do it on the side of a mailbox. I'm doing a sparkling poppy today so that it is to commemorate Remembrance Day on November 11th, as well as Veterans Day on November 11th in the US. So now this is to honor the veterans who passed away during the First World War. They died in the line of duty. So we want to make sure that we remember all of those that we lost. I am going to sketch it on with pencil, and then I'm going to outline it with gold. Then I'm going to clean up anything that I don't want with black. It's the same routine I always have when I do these stones, but this time we're not going to do it dotted. We're going to do a couple of dots around the outside, but we're not going to do a dotted poppy today. And just so I don't get it wrong, for those who are celebrating Veterans Day in the US for November 11th, I understand Veterans Day celebrates the service of all US military veterans. So I just want to make sure that I recognize that as well. Both of us celebrate with poppies, right? We all do that. So I'm going to make sure that I have a special poppy stone for everyone to paint before the 11th. And however you like to celebrate that day, this is a nice way. You can hide it. You can give it to a veteran if you know one, if you're lucky enough, and say thank you. Say thank you to them. Now I am, like I said, outlining everything in gold, and that mess that's underneath the poppies right there, that's going to be a leaf. So if you're unsure of what the heck that is, I promise you'll understand it a little bit later. Now here's the design that I'm sticking with. You can still see some pencil, but I'm going to make that disappear very soon because I'm going to color it in, or paint it in, sorry. And we're not going to dot it, like I said. So I'm just going to start with using my fine lining brush, the same one that I used for my gold. And I'm going to add some berry wine. The closer you are to the base of the flower, the darker I'm doing it. So I'm using a sponge. I've got some berry wine in there. I'm going to add some Christmas red and some pumpkin orange as I get further out to the end of the petal, because poppies are so transparent. When you look at them in the wind, and you can see the sunlight through them, they do kind of resemble a little bit orange. They're so bright red that they do have a bit of a tint of orange when you can see through the beautiful petals. So I'm making sure to lighten up the ends of my petals using a little bit of orange. I do know that there are different colored poppies out there in the world, but I'm just doing traditional poppies to celebrate Remembrance Day and Veterans Day. So I am using the sponge, like I said. These sponges are from Martha Stewart. It will be located in the description. Sometimes you can get them for a good price on Amazon, where I get them, but sometimes I can find them cheaper at Michael's. So definitely take a look around. You can use any kind of sponge you want. For this one, I'm using the smallest one because it's much easier to manipulate the paint around inside the petals, so I don't have to do too much cleanup afterwards. But as you can see, a little bit easier now, I am lightening the top of the petals, or the edge of the petals, but the closer you get to the base of the flower, the darker it is. So that's where I use the berry wine color. And I'm going to do that with both poppy flowers. And then the rest is going to be pretty much green. And then we will keep as much gold as we can throughout. Like I said, everything is listed in the description. I know a lot of you have a hard time finding that description. It is a tricky little secret spot that a lot of us can't find sometimes. So it's a little down arrow on your screen right underneath this video, and it might be to the very, very right of the screen. And in that down arrow is a description of this video, everything I use, my resin tutorial, my fine lining brush tutorial, everything is in there. So make sure that if you are able to get in there and you see something that I forgot, please message me and let me know so that I can update it, and make sure you guys are getting all the info I said you would get. Now I am going to also make sure that I can find all my petals again by outlining them with gold. I don't want my line too thick, my gold lines too thick. Make sure you keep them fine and dainty as much as possible around the edge of the petals, because they're so paper thin and wrinkly and just so dainty that we want to keep that same fine, delicate look to them, keeping the gold lines fine. So that's just a suggestion. If you struggle keeping your gold really fine, don't fret, don't worry about it. Do the best you can. Just a suggestion when it comes to certain flowers. If you keep the gold thin, really, really fine in some places, it helps with the texture of everything. So you can kind of see the dark and light that I've got going on in each petal. You can also use a small paintbrush and blend away if that's easier for you. Totally do whatever is comfortable for you. Now I'm thinning out the lines of gold for the small poppy bud. There's probably a different name for it, and you can let me know. But I'm going to call it a poppy bud. And he's just hanging up there, and I needed to thin out the lines a little bit. And we're going to find our leaves very, very soon, because that's just a mess. Now I'm going to use a classic green for most of the leftover stuff that we have to fill in here. So I'm just going to fill it all in and find the pointy, jagged leaves as best as I can and make it look like... well, let's just make it make sense in a moment. Now, I will be getting out my nail glitter, because I'm going to put a little bit of nail glitter, not only on the petals of the poppies, but I'm also going to put red nail glitter in the background. Now, you can use paint glitter that instead of nail glitter. You can get Folkart 2961CA. And it's called Fiery Red. And you can actually do that in the entire background of your stone as well. And you'll get close to the same effect, but the glitter is not as fine. That's all. But if you don't have nail glitter, you can try eyeshadow. You can try any glitter, really. Dragonfly glaze. Anything like that. It's just nice to have a sparkling background. If you like it like this with no glitter, leave it like this. You are almost done. Now I just lightened up a little bit of that classic green using light green, just to work on the bud a little bit. And I'm going to let that dry. So this is the image that we have now, and now is where you just kind of work with it to make it fancy. Now I'm blending in a little bit of that light green to some of the leaves as well, just to give them a little bit of highlight here and there. Nothing too drastic though. You can barely see it changing color. I'm working so quickly that you can't even see. That's not true. I have sped this video up. You guys would be asleep already if I didn't. I promise. So I'm keeping the leaves hanging over top of the frame that I did originally at the very beginning. And if you did my Betty Boop tutorial, I also hung her little feet outside of the ring and her fingers and her curls. So this is just something that I like to do. You do not have to do it. You can have your leaf pointing in a different direction. You do whatever you want. As you can see, I'm kind of giving the illusion of some wrinkles in the petals by adding a little bit of gold down all the little bumps that I put on the outer petals. So I hope you can see that in this video, because I'm not seeing it very well at the speed that we're going. But yeah, I did add little lines there, if you can see. Now I'm making sure to take black and go around everywhere that I need to outline, to make sure everything is lifted off of each other. I do outline it so everything doesn't look just kind of flat. I just made like little parts of the flower pop right out because of that black outline. I don't know if you noticed that. Now I'm doing the little, I don't even know what to call them. I'm going to call them little hairs with little balls on them. Because that's what I'm going to do. Little hairs with balls. And no, I'm not being inappropriate, but I will apologize anyway because of how Canadian I am. So I'm putting little dots on top of the little hairs in gold, and then I'm going to go back in over top of the gold when it's dry, and I'm going to put black dots so that you can see them a little bit better, and they look a little bit more like a fancy little poppy. So here's the black dots, and you don't have to be perfect about it. Just put dots in there all over the place until it looks right to you. And I think they're so pretty. They're so beautiful. I just love poppies so much. And I did do a stone for someone a couple years ago when I first started teaching myself how to paint. And I haven't done one since, but I think I've improved slightly since that one. So if you don't get this on the first try, don't even fret. Don't even worry, because I didn't either. Now I'm doing the berry wine, which is the darkest red that I've used in the flower. And I'm going all the way around that ring in the dark red. And I'm going to let that dry. And then we're going to do some gold dots. Instead of the lines that I usually do, I'm going to just do big gold dots instead. And you'll see that shortly. I'm also excited to show it to you resined because it's already so beautiful, but the resin just really brings out all the color and the shading and the gold and the glitter. So I'm excited to show you guys. As usual, it's going to match with my nails. My nails have been this way for a couple of weeks now. It's time for a change. I'm going to be doing them when I have a moment to myself. So we'll see. I am still, a lot of you have said your prayers for me because you know I'm moving, and I'm moving New Year's Day, the very 1st of January. So right now we are packing, we are bringing stuff in 2 hours away so that we don't have so much to bring in on the actual day that we move. And it's been a lot of work, but the kids have been amazing, and you guys have been very patient as well. If you didn't see my message on Facebook, I am having a real hard time getting my messages. It's like they're gone and I can't find them anymore. So I don't know what's going on. If you've messaged me and you've actually put in a request for a custom order and I've said to you, yes, I can do that for you, please message me again. I don't have a lot of time to do custom orders, but I need to find these people that I've already agreed to paint for. So if you are one of those people, please send me another message on Facebook in any way that you can so that I can find you and get your order completed and sent to you before Christmas. So I'm making sure I get that out there to my almost 42,000 subscribers. Just so y'all know. I love every single one of you. I just wish that I could hug you all every single time I'm on here. I do still want to do a live, but because my life is so hectic right now, it might not even be until the new year. But I do want to do a live with you all and answer all of your questions and just laugh with you. You guys can all hear all my different laughs. Hopefully not some of the scary ones. So as you can see, I did the gold circles on top of the red in the ring. That's a little different from what I usually do. And I'm going in with a little bit of red nail glitter. It's a very, very, very fine powdered glitter. for fingernails to make it look chrome. It doesn't look chrome on our stones, but it gives it a really nice glittery effect once you put the resin on. So I'm also going to use the same red glitter, and I'm just patting it on with a little eye makeup sponge. I'm not touching the flower with it, but I'm going close to it. And then I'm going to use a clear gloss varnish over top of it, Duraclear gloss varnish, which I will leave in the description as well, just to hold the glitter where I want to keep it. I don't want it to float all over the green leaf. I don't want it to float all down the sides of the rock. I'm going to keep the natural stone natural on the rest of this, so I don't want it covered in red glitter. So I will protect it with the Duraclear gloss varnish, let it dry. This is me doing the Duraclear gloss varnish. And then once that's dry, I'm going to resin it, and then you get to see it extra, extra shiny and sparkly. So it's almost here. I can't wait to show you. I hope you guys love all this sparkle as much as I do. I don't know what's wrong with me. It could be some kind of disorder, but I need it. I need glitter in my life. I should make a t-shirt that says I need glitter in my life. But I am also coating the leaves the petals, because of course they are also covered in red glitter, and I want to keep that in that one spot. So I am covering everything and then letting it dry. Here it comes, guys. Are you ready? I'm going to just leave it here for you to stare at momentarily so that we can build up the anticipation of it all. No, actually, I forgot. I'm adding black dots on top of the gold dots. There. You don't have to do that. That's optional. But this is how it looks now that it's resined. It is absolutely gorgeous. All the glitter, all the gold, the poppies are flowing in the wind. The color stands out so much. You guys, this is beautiful.